Camera sync audio. What's up, everybody? Back at Indian of Oklahoma City after a little bit of time hiding away in isolation. And today we are going to take out the Indian FTR Rally. So this one is based on the base model, basically. However, you see the spoked wheels and the more aggressive tire than the other FTRs, more of a dirt tire than the flat tracker style tire that it's got. You also see this one comes with the fly screen right there. And of course it's got the LED light just like the other ones. So that is the same in carryover. You'll notice the bars, the pro tapers are a lot more upright on this machine, which is something I tend to prefer, an upright position. Kind of walk around it here. I love those spoked wheels, little red line there, kind of giving it a nice little accent. Love the color of this bike. I love the way it looks. It's actually, to me, this is the best looking one they got right now. Of course, you see the twin discs up front, Brembo. All right, kind of look up here real fast. Just like the FTR base model, you'll see it's the standard clock up here. This is the cycle switch. So you can see you got your tachometer, you got your voltage for your battery, clock on the bottom there, engine temperature, and your average fuel mileage. And you also see side stand warning, service engine light, left and right turn signals, gasoline, neutral, ABS indication until it kicks off, general maintenance light or warning, and also your bright. And of course over here, this is your flash to pass plus brights, cruise control, press in to turn on, down to set, up for resume. These turn signals are automatic cancel once you do a lean and come back, or some time, of course your horn, and of course your engine cutoff switch there. This is going to be your keys, and down here, a little USB port for charging and everything. So let's go ahead, and let's mount this up, and let's see how she rides. Now seat height on this is still around 32-33 inches. So a little bit taller of a machine. Doesn't sit down as low. I like that a lot. And you'll see still a slight bend in my knee. You'll see that my feet are flat on the ground on both sides. And I have a 32-inch inseam, so the suspension does drop a little bit on it. Go ahead and get it started up here. And let's get this thing a-going. Alrighty. Alright, so we all know I love the FTR, both the base and the race and everything that's FTR that's out there right now. So this is my first time on this one, and of course this one is kind of an accessories bike. This one has the fly screen added to it, the taller handlebars and everything, and pretty much it's a base model with a little bit different wheel set, tires, and handlebars. And the one thing is though, is sometimes that will change a ride quite a bit. Having the handlebars a little bit taller is a great thing to me. It changes the position to a more comfortable, longer range riding position, more of that standard position. And you have no weight on your wrists or nothing. Just a nice posture. When we get going here, I'll kind of show you here. Of Of course, this is a brand new motorcycle, so I'm not going to flog it or anything today, people. So if you're looking for wheelies or anything like that, move on to the next video, because that's not going to happen here today. All right. So getting it out here on the interstate, just easy. This bike has always been like that. The power, and you can see I'm so used to toggling with my left finger. This bike is just so easy to ride, just like the other FTR. Currently we're at 60 miles an hour at around 3,650 RPM to 3,700. If we climb that up a smidge to normal highway at around 70, you'll get to around 42 to 4250 RPM. So that's your normal highway speed roughly here in the US. Of course, this is the same engine that the same 1200 engine that the other FTRs offer. So it's got all the power in the world. And it feels exactly the same too. But I love this seating position. It is so much more comfortable to me. I like sitting in this more upright position. My shoulder to my elbow is slightly bent, but everything is straight forward from there. There's absolutely no pressure on my wrist whatsoever. So it's a nice, just comfortable position. My knees come against the tank nicely. There's a slight bend back to where my feet are resting, and that bend back comes to about where my shoulders are for my feet. So it is a perfect standard position now. The other one's slightly different than this one, because you're leaned more forward, so your feet are slightly behind your shoulders on the others. And I am aware that, yes, everybody's passing me, but let's be honest here. It's better to be safe. It's better to ride safe. It's better to ride the way you're supposed to ride. And when you're in a construction zone, be kind to everybody. Don't do all this. I get that we've been under quarantines for a long time these days, but you still got to respect the rules of the road. You never know what might be next corner. So anyway, now that we're kind of got down to the 50 mile an hour mark now, I'm at 3,000 even RPM. And this bike is just absolutely just solid. There is no vibration really coming from anywhere that I can feel. Nice and smooth and solid riding. The mirrors are perfectly clear right now. I have a crystal clear view of behind me. They're set out very nicely too. I see only a tinge of my arm on each side, but I have a good view of the lanes around me and the lane beside me and was behind. It's all really nice. The suspension is also just as great as the other FTRs. Going over these hard bumps in this construction zone, this bike just is soaking them up, and there's just nothing really shuddering this thing at all. Bike is moving great. And just like the other ones too, it's so nimble. I mean, it's such a light steering machine. You barely put any input into it and the bike is already responding to you. And that's fantastic. It's a fantastic chassis. Now with the newer tires, some people might think it might be a little bit rougher riding or more road feel or something like that due to the more aggressive nature of these tires, and it's absolutely not correct. This bike is going very smoothly, and I don't feel any difference from the road feel from the tires at all. Even though they're more dirt aggressive, they're still mostly a road tire after all. And they do a very good job of providing good grip and good feedback up the road, but not giving me any noise or chatter. You can see I'm in top gear and squirted right back up to 60 with barely a flick. This engine is awesome. Once again, absolutely stable machine. We have some pretty good winds today. See that flag over there? I'm heading straight into them right now, and they're about 20 miles an hour. This bike's not even moving. It's just stable right through it right now. And it's wonderful. Nothing's really upsetting it. So as a rider, I like that. I don't like being pushed around by wind. Oklahoma, we have plenty of wind. All right. So you'll see now I've set the cruise control. You'll see that the little arrow is now pointing at the cruise control icon. That means that it is set. And that is what separates this bike from a lot of standards. It has cruise control. It's something that you can turn into a halfway adventure bike that has way more sporting feel. Alright, we'll take it to the regular city streets here. And just like my Chieftain, if you roll it up forward, your cruise control will shut off on the right grip. Alright, this is the portion where we're going to do some compression braking or engine braking on this thing. Downshifts are precise and smooth. Nice blip of the throttle. And this thing is just coming down very quickly, so very good compression braking. No need for primary brakes here right now. All right. That was a huge bump, and this thing just went right over it, and I didn't even leave the seat. Does a very good job on this. Now, if you're a dirt rider, some may ask, okay, with the position, how is it when you stand on it? Well, you lean a little bit more forward than you would on your conventional adventure and or touring bikes because of the way you sit. So it's not going to be the most aggressive thing in the dirt. You can still stand on it, but you do lean a little bit more forward into it. Usually you have a pretty good standing position on most of your standard dirt bikes because your feet are actually slightly more forward, whereas this one's mounted slightly more backwards. But very stable, even when you stand up. It just tracks so well. Very responsive, very good input on this bike. Once again, all this is being done just compression braking alone. I'm not even accessing the main brakes right now. Now the upshifts and downshifts on this 6-speed transmission are absolute buttery. Very great transmission. I love the transmission on this bike. Very responsive and easy to use. Very light touches gets it to do what you want it to do. And I haven't found a false neutral point in this machine yet. It's just a comfortable ride. I mean, it's just something I'm enjoying right now. The seat is a little hard at first, I will say that. And that's actually not a bad thing. A seat needs to break down to its rider. So if it does start a little tougher, as it breaks down over time, it'll actually become more comfortable for the rider. So at first, yes, it will cause a little bit of discomfort on a longer ride, but as it breaks in and molds to you as the rider, it's actually not bad. Yes. The familiar power of the FTR. Brilliant engine. And here in a moment, we'll test these brakes, these massive Brembos up front, ABS and everything. Now this one does not have the tilt sensitive everything. This is just strictly a regular ABS system. Only the race has the more tilt sensitive appropriations. So just remember that if you're looking into that. But this one starts around $13,300 altogether, so not a bad price really. Get a pretty decent amount of motorcycle. All right, so we're coming up on this stop sign here. Corvette's gonna brake later than I do probably. All right. Oh wow. This thing will stand up on itself. Very good primary braking. Excellent braking. Very smooth. Very good feedback as well. Now, I didn't even get close to doing the ABS at all. Just right at the threshold, and this thing is coming down in a hurry. It does drop the front fork a little bit, so it puts a lot of weight forward, but it handles it very well, and it stops in a straight line, very precise, no wobbling, no nothing. Just a nice, good braking system on this thing. I'll do that again. Good golly. That's face ripping right there. All right. Take her back up here. You can see it gets down in the corner. I'd get a lot of trouble. I'm trying to be nice today because this is a brand new bike, and I don't want to just rip her. Just want to take her easy for them. This thing absolutely delivers. An absolute big smile on my face. Very good riding bike. I prefer this one over the race and the base because, I mean, it's got the same power, it's got everything else. I just prefer this position. I prefer the bar placement. It just makes this bike better. I like the way I'm sitting right now. It's just so comfortable. It's a bike I could definitely get used to in a very quick amount of time. And like I said, it's one of those things where the seat is a little bit tougher, yes, but over time, that seat will mold to you and it will help out in the longevity and the comfort in time as it breaks down as you break in the bike. I'm already finding a good spot to kind of sit on to make sure I don't get numb rear here. It's just working out great, and this bike is just so easy to ride. It's just a joy. I mean, this is one that you could definitely gear up and take with you everywhere you want to go. It's going to do some very mild off-roading, so like most of the adventure bikes of today, you know, this side of a GS basically, you're thinking the Multistrada and some of those that are more road going. This one will hang with those and be cheaper. May not have all the frills of it, but it just works. Like I said, going over all these broken roads, the long suspension travel on this bike is just phenomenal, and I did not do any pre-adjusting or anything. This is all just stock adjustment. The back is preloadable, the front is not. But it doesn't matter, it soaks it up nicely. Absolutely. And even in top gear, this thing rolls on the speed immediately from 45, 50 back up to 60, 65, 70 in a hurry. There's like no question on what it's going to do. It's just going to rip and roar and go. And that's a great thing. I like having that top end be so long, especially when you got to go down in traffic and stuff like that. So it helps this bike become a great city bike. Now, it's a little bit of a cooler day today. I'm probably running around the 60s right now in temperature. So heat, I'm not really getting much of it right now. I haven't been out here too long, but it's not coming off very, very bad at all. You got that big radiator up front with the scoops. You're pretty close over here to that exhaust right there. It's got that protector on it, and I don't really feel anything coming off of it. I remember my night rod always having that heat. Oh man, that thing was hot. Many times. You just would not believe how much heat would come off of that bike. And this one, you know, very similar setup in terms of how the exhaust is coming out, where your leg sits toward it, where your body sits toward the engine and everything. I just do not feel as much of the heat coming off of it. I will say I do feel a little bit on the inner part, right basically where my knee is meeting with the tank, and that's probably where the air is catching it, and that's kind of why it's there. But other than that, I really don't feel much heat at all, because with the night rod and some of the other bikes I've rode, I would have heat going all down my leg. It didn't matter where it was just all down the leg. It was everywhere. This thing is just brilliant. Have a truck coming by me, and of course the wind is now no longer in my face, so it's to my back. I don't really feel anything coming off that truck. Of course, you never do when you're riding in the wind with them. This bike's so stable on the road. It's so well-mannered. I love the way this thing is. It's the essence of motorcycling. Pretty dang bare bones. Great power. Basic equipment. The only thing that's really an electronic nanny is going to be your ABS. I know it has cruise control, but as you can see, I'm not using it. I don't need to. It's just nice light throttle, nice responding. Like I said, the chassis is wonderful. I wish I could take this thing out and show you guys how to shred a canyon with it. Unfortunately, in Oklahoma, this is all we get. But I can tell you guys, this bike is ready to have some fun and put the miles on it. So at any rate, if you guys are looking for an adventure bike or a bike that's in between, if you're not fully committed to that design yet, and you want something that's just as good looking, just as sporting, can handle some off-road, can handle some on-road and go long distances, the FTR definitely something to think about, something to put on your list. It does have some niceties for you. If you're working with electronics, you can obviously plug some stuff in, and it has power for a GPS unit if you want to use one, power for your phone if you want to use it as your GPS unit, all right there on the handlebar. Pretty decent sized gas tank, pretty decent gas mileage, being up in the 40s for the gas mileage and everything, so you can get about 130 plus per tank or so. It's not bad for what you got, for what it is. You can take it for a long way. Very comfortable, very good riding position. I love this much more improved riding position. It's amazing what a difference a couple of inches of a bar makes on a motorcycle. It seriously is. Just love the way it is. I mean, this is a bike I would love to take home right now, actually. It's just like, man, I wish I could afford one of these right now. It's just a nice riding bike, and I love having a bike like this for the city, because you can just carve up the city just fine. It gets in and out of traffic. Very light steering. About the only gripe I could say is these bikes are cold-natured, so they take a moment to warm up. I mean, I have a 41-year-old bike with carburetors. It's not like I'm not used to something like that at all, so it doesn't really bother me. I know in this age of fuel injection and everything, you expect it, but engines are engines. Sometimes they need a little bit of heat to get through them to start working, and you know, I don't mind that. I mean, it's been perfect. It's been smooth. It's been wonderful. Just had to sit a moment and let her idle up to temperature, and she's fine from there. It's the only gripe I really got. Like I said, seat's wearing into me right now. I know it's not been too long a ride, but I found a little spot that I just absolutely enjoy where I'm at. Gives me a nice view, nice seating position, my wrists, no problem. All this wind blowing around, not being scooted around, no fighting handlebars. Wheels are wide enough, they get caught in gullies, they don't stay with the gully, they bounce right back out. I mean, this is just a great bike for all sorts of circumstances. So at any rate, this is the Rabid Hedgehog, once again out of Indian of Oklahoma City, located at 7 Northeast 10th Street, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. And they once again are providing me with these awesome rides. I thank them for doing that. I'm not paid by them in any way. I just get a good chance to come out, do some rides with them, enjoy the rides and everything. So give them a shout out, give them a call. They're shipping nationwide. They're doing everything during this time to help you guys out to get on a bike. Don't hesitate to give them a call, new or used or anything like that. Got to give them a proper shout out today. So at any rate, once again, this is the Rabid Hedgehog. This is the 2020 FTR Rally 1200. This is a fantastic motorcycle, one that I almost want to just keep just riding home with, because it's absolutely just comfy, and it just feels like a down home good, feel good bike. At any rate, keep that shine side up, folks. Catch you on the next review.
What's up, everybody? This is the Rabid Hedgehog, and thanks once again for watching our videos. Please like, share, subscribe today if you like what you've seen. We also want to give a shout out to our dealership partners and motorcycle mechanics. We have Motiv Cycle Works Moto Guzzi out of Oklahoma City. They are both mechanic and a Moto Guzzi dealership. They are located at 906 North Ann Arbor Avenue, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma 73127, or 405-641-1801, or motivcycleworks.com. We thank Don and his crew for helping keep our CX500 running strong and awesome. Also, we want to give a big shout out to Indian of Oklahoma City, located at 7 Northeast 10th Street, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma 73104, or 405-606-3615. We promise you will not find a better family in motorcycles that will help you get on the dream ride that you're looking for. We also want to reach out to any dealership who might be interested in letting us ride and get your videos out there and your motorcycles. Please reach us at the email in our About section. I'd like to also thank our sponsors, Law Tigers Motorcycle Lawyers, locally in Oklahoma, 405-276-4986, and 24/7 states everywhere, 1-888-863-7216. Also, Doug Crawford with AMSOIL USA Synthetics. He can be found at usasynthetics.com or 405-388-6170, providing AMSOIL for our motorcycles and keeping them protected. Also, Enloe and Associates Insurance Agency, locally in Oklahoma at 405-261-1010. Once again, thank you so much for watching, folks. You all have a great one. We'll catch you on the next ride.